This is a new series called Broke Chick Flips, where I take some of this junk that me and Matt bought and try to turn a profit on it. Today we're going to be working on getting this 1981 square body. This is the driver's side door. It does have a little bit of damage and it's got a little bit of rust, I think, there down at the bottom. We're going to tackle getting this disassembled first. Pull it to the front side of this. Whew. And there comes your glass. Nice and easy. So this is what it's looking like now. It doesn't look too bad underneath of that lip, but obviously I won't really know until I hit this with the grinding disc and maybe the sandblaster. Alright guys, so this door, all the metal work has been done on it, fixed all the rust. Guys, so the next panel on the truck that we're going to be working on is the passenger side door. I ended up grabbing this door off of one of my parts trucks outside because the door that was on this Chevy was going to take a lot of time to repair and wasn't really worth the repair. This door, however, has some differences from the door that's on the truck. This one is running an electric window, whereas the rest of the truck is just wind-up windows. So I'm going to be gutting this door, and I will also be gutting the other door that I took off and using the internals from that door to put back in this door so that I don't have to run the electric windows on this truck. But we have to get the electric windows out of this, and to do that, I need the window up. So I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to jump this window. I know that these are the connectors for the electric switches, and I'm pretty sure this one here is for the electric window. And so we're going to plug these wires. I've just got a couple pieces of wires, and they got just 2 ends. And I'm actually going to be hooking this up to Milwaukee battery. These little connectors here actually fit right into these slots. We're just going to try this out, getting this thing jumped and seeing which way it needs to go in order to get the window up so I can detach all of the mechanisms. Make sure I don't zap myself, hopefully. So this connector, it's got like 2 holes here. Oh, we got movement. Okay, so I'm able to make the window go down. These switches work kind of like a reverse polarity, so if you put them in and the window goes down, you just swap negative wire over to the other side and your positive over to the other side. Whoop. Yeah, don't do that. That was exactly what you shouldn't do. I'll touch my wires together. I'm gonna disconnect the negative over there. See if I can get this back worked up into the right spot. It's not sitting in the channel very nicely. Now we got our window the rest of the way up, and we can start working on getting the mechanisms out of the inner door. I'm gonna start with taking out this bracket first and get it out of the way. I'm gonna detach my door handle here. This is where the motor, I believe, is hooked up to. So we'll get that dropped down. I'm gonna start undoing stuff and see what I can wiggle, and then we'll work on getting that motor out of the way. Alright guys, I got this door all disassembled. This is all the stuff that came out of the door minus the window. But yeah, so this is done. I'm going to start off with the inner. There's a little bit of rust I can see poking through on the bottom corner. I don't think it's rust all the way through, but it is surface rust and the sealer is peeling there. So I'm going to hit that with a sandblaster, see what it looks like. This door has already been bondoed. While looking on the inside of the door, somebody has drilled holes and filled them in with bondo. I thought at first that maybe there were trim holes, but after looking closely, they're not in a straight line. So there was probably a dent underneath of there, and somebody probably drilled holes to pull it out, which is something that they used to do back in the day to fix dents, and they never actually would weld up the holes. They would just fill it full of bondo, and they said that it makes the bondo stick better. It's an old school mentality. Anyway, so when we strip it off, I know that there's going to be holes on the door skin that I'm going to have to weld up. But other than that, the door looks pretty all right. There's a little crack here too. Nothing major. I can just hit that with the welder. This is a little rust spot that I saw. I don't think there's going to be any rust holes here. Just a little bit of surface rust, hopefully. But I'm going to hit that with the sandblaster. And if you guys don't hear the new sound happening in the shop, our heat is finally working. The landlord came and fixed the heat yesterday afternoon. So we got heat, so it's nice and toasty in here. Super awesome because it was -5 this morning and my doors in my truck were actually frozen shut. So super happy for that. So now we get to work in warm weather instead of being curled up in my insulated cubbies. But yeah, I didn't previously see that spot either. So we'll hit that with the sandblaster too. And I have a feeling that's gonna be a hole. At least that's an easy spot. There also is a couple dents here that we'll have to work out because I don't want to paint over top of dents. I'll probably just pop some of these dents out a little bit and get it looking a bit better. So yeah, sandblaster time. This doesn't look too bad. The sandblaster didn't really take off the goop around the edges. So I'm just gonna go in with a screwdriver and rip up the seam sealer. See what we're working with underneath of it. No rust holes, which is good. When I go to do my paint, I'll probably take my Scotch-Brite biscuit and just run it around the edge and get rid of the old seam sealer, and then I'll re-seam seal it before I go to paint. So anyways, we'll just strip it out of there, put some new stuff in so that everything's good and adhered. The rest of the seam sealer on the rest of the door is actually in pretty good shape, but if I'm gonna be doing a little bit of seam sealer here, I might as well just quickly do the rest of it. And this other rusty area has no holes in it, so we're good there. So there is no rust repair on the back side of this door. There's going to be a couple spots I'm going to strip just to get rid of the surface rust, and then I'll re-seam seal. That's going to be it for the back of this door, which is awesome. So now we're going to flip it over to the front, and we will see exactly how much Bondo is on this door. It's been a while since I looked at this door. I forgot that it already had peel and Bondo. Oh, it's even less than 1/4 inch. We'll see how thick it is down here and see if there's any rust going on, actual rust holes. The other door that we had on the truck had a lot of structural damage on the frame. So this one, even if there is rust here, is going to be a lot easier to fix. This is also a really common patch area, so I'm not too intimidated by it. You have to do patches like this all the time. Still don't know if this is just surface rust or if it's going to be rust holes, and we're not going to know until we strip it. So I'm just going to put my 80 grit disc on my polisher like I normally do, use a low speed, bust all this Bondo off, and then we'll see what we're looking at. All right, so got this door stripped down. There was quite a bit of Bondo just basically on the bottom half. I do see those holes. Thankfully, they're really small, so they're gonna be easy just to zap shut. There is some surface rusting happening, so I'll probably hit that with a sandblaster. I did go through and check everything with my little screwdriver, and there's no actual holes, but it is quite dented down on this bottom area. Honestly, it's not too bad, but definitely needs some work. I think they might have had more Bondo than they needed on the door as well. Yeah, this is pretty high over here. When I was sanding, I did get a little bit, tin can. So I'm gonna get this stretched back out. We'll probably have to do some shrinking on this one as well. Sandblast these areas. This bottom flange has also been bent down, so we'll have to get that pulled up. So we'll straighten this out first, and then we'll go in and do our hammer and dolly work and use the pin welder. And anywhere where I see a hole like this, I will have to just weld those guys up. All in all, it's actually not too bad. It's just dented, so we aren't gonna have to do any rust repair on this job, which is something that takes the longest. So it's literally just gonna be hammer and dollying, probably some shrinking here and there. And then the metal work on this door will be done, and we'll just have to prep it for paint. All right guys, so I got this sandblasted. It is quite heavily pitted. There is no holes that are going through this. Still kind of feel like I should replace it just because it is so pitted. The metal doesn't have any holes through it, but the heavy pitting means that the metal is thinner there. And because they're just like two really small spots where the pitting is bad, and I kind of do feel like, well, once I get this straightened out, I'll see more, but I don't know if this is swollen or not. It might be a little swollen. Actually, it doesn't actually look that swollen. It might just be dent. I'm just talking myself into doing another patch. But I'm gonna straighten out all this metal first, because you should always do that before you try putting a patch in anyways, because if you weld a patch in and all the metal's dented around it, your patch isn't gonna fit nice. We're gonna straighten all this out first. We're gonna get all the dents hammered out, see how it looks first, and then we'll revisit on, and then I'm gonna weld a patch in. I feel like a little pack rat or a raccoon. I'm just getting all my hammers and dollies out for the door. What are those things that just collect shiny things on my shiny objects? All All right, so I'm gonna start with working out some of the top of this door. Closer to that end, it's actually pretty good. It's a little bit of a high right here, but back here is actually really nice. This side of the door has most of the body angle, so I'm gonna start here, flattening out this area, work my way down the door and get this top section dealt with. Further down here is really hard to get my arm down into, so I'll probably use the pin welder a little bit here to help me out. I do still have access from the back of the panel, but it's just my arms aren't long enough, so we're going to try to work the bottom portion of this out with a pin welder. When you're working in a low, if you can do hammer-on dolly, that kind of stretches the metal back up. Also, you can use your dolly from the backside if you have enough space behind your panel and hit the backside with the dolly. Yeah, and then I can also place my dolly on the back side of the lows. When I'm trying to like move metal from a high to a low, I can support the low with my dolly and I can tap down the high over here. So we call that a hammer off dolly, and that's kind of what we use to level it. And then when you're trying to bring something up or make it even throughout after you've got kind of the big highs and lows dealt with, you can do a little bit more hammer on dolly to kind of get it flattened to a uniform shape. I wish my arms were like 4 inches longer. So I got my pins welded on here and I just did a couple initial pulls. It was really weird. I started to pull this side of this crease, which was like an outward crease. And as soon as I started pulling this, the crease just dropped and went actually in line with basically the rest of the panel. Obviously it still needs a little bit of finessing, but it is very rare when you go to do your first pull and basically the metal just to kind of relax back into its general shape. So that was exciting. All right, now I just gotta grind these off, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of hammer dolly work. All right guys, so I got all the dents pulled out of this door and it's looking pretty good. So the last thing to do here is weld up these tiny little holes that are along this edge. These ones are really small, so I'm not gonna need anything to back them, and they're too small to cut a piece of metal and fit in there, so I'm just gonna tack them shut. But I did wanna show you guys something a little cool that you can do if you have a bigger hole that is really hard to just weld shut or shape a piece of metal to fit in. Like if you're deleting a bolt hole for a window or something like that, you can use a chunk of brass to back the backside of those holes and give yourself something to kind of weld off to. This will not weld to your panel, so if I have this on the back side of my hole to kind of support it, I can use and weld on top of this so that I don't have clumps of weld falling off into the panel. So these are my 2 chunks of brass that I generally use for that. I'm not gonna need it on this door, but I thought I'd just show you guys. So if you're ever filling a hole and it's a little too big and you don't want it to be really ugly and chunky on the back side, grab yourself a piece of brass. This is just a piece of brass tubing that's hammered flat on one side, and then this is just a little brass fitting. You can tell that I've done a lot of welding on this one because it's a little charcoaly. So that is an option there for you guys as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna tack these shut, doing kind of like a stitch welding technique so I don't put any more heat in the door, and then this door is going to be done. Forgot to mention, I punched out these holes. They were full of bondo. You can see they're not in a straight line. So this door was repaired previously, and a lot of times back in the 80s and 90s, one of the repair techniques was to drill holes in a panel and use something like a slide hammer to pull the metal out instead of using something like we have now, like a pin welder. Another thing that they used to do, if they had a really big dent that they weren't going to pull out and they were just going to put bondo in, they would actually purposely drill holes in the panel and then spread their bondo, because they said it gave the bondo more grip, because as it goes through the holes and drips down, it locks it in there. We know now that that's total BS and that you shouldn't do that, and it's just another place for water to leak in. But that's what these holes are from, is from somebody pulling out this panel. They didn't weld them up, so we're gonna have to weld these up too. They're small holes, which is really nice, and they're not rusty around them, so it should just be a quick zap. So yeah, I'm gonna pull out the dents and then weld up these holes, but if you guys are wondering what those are from, they are from a previous repair, and this is how they used to do it back in the day before we became more advanced and we learned that this is a no bueno idea. All right guys, so I've got all the holes welded up on this door, got all the dents pulled out, all the rust fixed. So now this door is ready to get some filler on it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys want to see this get into some primer.